And for more recollections on the life and times of Jessie Duarte, I'm joined by the Special Advisor to the Minister in the Presidency, Lumko Mtimde. He's also an ANC and SACP member. Lumko, good evening to you and welcome. I'd like to give you the opportunity to reflect on, some of your experiences with Jessie Duarte and how you think that her legacy might be summed up.
Good evening, Iman, and just a correction, a former special advisor. Indeed, we are saddened by the loss of such a soldier. Comrade Jessie was a real freedom fighter, a principled comrade, a fighter for women emancipation, who have always ensured that the national question is not compromised in the work that we were doing together. I worked with her a number of times whenever I was working in the ANC. And she has been always that kind of a leader that would uncompromisingly and dispassionately make sure that we focus the interest of the ANC and at all times objectively deal with facts as opposed to the nuance. And we always look forward to her wisdom because we knew that in Comrade Jessie we would get the kind of leadership we needed to assist in taking forward whatever challenges. I recall vividly when I was serving in the SABC board and we had quite a number of challenges. We would liaise, or rather speak to her to try and understand how we can work together towards solving some of the challenges. And she was always available to assist and always shared the wisdom that has helped us to grow in the ANC and be able to assist in any respect. And lastly, she's just the kind of person that whatever matter you raise with Comrade Jessie, she had that wisdom that you would not understand. How does she understand the depth of, be it ICT matters, be it media matters, be it any matter you bring forward to have a conversation with Comrade Jessie. And she would always be there and provide that kind of leadership.
It's interesting you say that, Lumko, because we heard from her family earlier today that she had a voracious appetite for reading and literature. And so, that's what I'd proffer as my speculation around why she was sharp on some of the issues you say that you were surprised she had this, she had this knowledge about. She remained until the end a vigorous and militant defender of the party, but she was also not shy to criticize it. And this is a theme we have covered throughout the day. How did you see her vision of the ANC and what it should be in relation to where it finds itself now at the time of her demise?
Yes, indeed, she loved the reading, and that's perhaps where this wisdom is generated from. She has always been a disciplined leader of the ANC. Even when she has a strong view on a particular matter that perhaps in the contest within the ANC, but how she deals with it, she would deal with it within the discipline of the ANC and of resolving studies. So even we would have been a resource that is needed in the rebuilding and the renewal program of the ANC. And therefore, no doubt she would support the leadership of the ANC that is fighting against any wrongs and kind of corruption that have taken place or are taking place. She has always been clear around those things and ensuring that we do not compromise the ANC. So rest assured, she would be supporting the leadership of the ANC as a disciplined member and the leader of the ANC.
I have no doubt, certainly based on what you've said and what she said herself. She has worked with the icons of the ANC, and some would now say in her death she joins their ranks as well. But her years with Madiba straight after he came out of prison, working with Bayes Naudé and Walter Sisulu in the lead-up to the first democratic elections, those experiences left an indelible mark on her growth as a leader. Would you say that this is the start of the end of that class of cadre, that class of politician in the ANC?
I wouldn't say the start of the end, but yes, it's a loss of the kind of leadership that we had. She belongs to that kind of generation of principled leaders of the ANC. And perhaps we need to, as we celebrate her life, reflect on how she would deal with because she was always at the center of dealing with difficult questions in the ANC. And we need to learn from that kind of wisdom, that ability to be able to manage to navigate and in all those difficulties, make sure that the organization is they're not compromised, the values, the principles of the organizations are lived. And I think those are the kind of lessons that we should learn from that leadership. I think, of course, the leadership of the ANC now is trying hard to make sure that we bring back that kind of the values, that leadership of the ANC that we learned from that generation of leaders. And yes, it's a big loss, therefore, to lose people of Jessie Duarte's caliber at this time when we need them most.
Lumko, thank you for talking to us. Appreciate your insight and your perspective. Lumko Mtimde is a former special advisor to the Minister in the Presidency. He's also an ANC and SACP member.